turned my obsession into a passion. I'm a publicist and I'm such a big believer of extremely talented people. I want to meet Burna Boy when he knows who I am, not as a fan, but like oh, I know you, I've seen your work, well done. I will not freak out.
You chopped down my money, wanna take all my money, chopped down my money and go. After all that you taken from me, after all that I wasted on you, baby.
You're literally in the zone, like all your essence is put into the game. It's very addictive. I used to play for like 12 to 14 hours a day. Couldn't stop gaming. Because if it wasn't for gaming, I wouldn't be here. Gaming basically saved my life.
Video game addiction describes the compulsive use of video games. It is officially recognized as a behavioral addiction.
Oh my God, I'm saying.
My name is Adam. I'm 26 years old. I'm a professional gamer. Gaming provided that escape for me since I was a kid. I struggled with mental health at a young age because I remember just waking up and always having that dark cloud, like a very heavy feeling on your chest. I didn't like school. What the teachers care about is only if you're book smart, and it also added to my sad feelings and depression. So gaming actually gave me the leeway to at least put my mind somewhere else. It's one of the best feelings. Whatever happens around you doesn't really matter.
Video games can improve mental health by breaking negative thought cycles and shifting your focus from worries to engaging challenges. But turning to gaming as an escape can be risky, increasing the chance of it turning into an addiction.
Usually after school, I will run straight to the gaming cafes and spend all my time there. Since I used to come home very late at night, I was also starting to fail in school. My mom worried about me.
Behavioral addictions can be linked to low feelings of self-esteem. In online games, success often feels more achievable.
I will make sure my mom is asleep, and then I will sneak out again and go to the sitting room and play on mute so that she can't hear me. And I'll play the whole night.
Immersive storytelling, skill and character progression, rewards, and leaderboards are all designed to get you hooked. Multiplayer games are especially addictive. Typically, gamers are considered addicted when they play at least 8 to 10 hours a day.
This one time, it was in the morning. I just saw like a figure beside me while playing the game, and I looked up and I saw, oh, it's my mom. I was busted, and she decided to take me to boarding school almost immediately after. It was a very tough time for me because literally my only escape was the console, and now it's taken away from me. Being in a depressive state, for me, you literally have no motivation to even get out of bed, just cry. And so uni was also adding more to my depression as well. All I used to do in uni was just go to the student center, play games.
Gaming triggers dopamine production in the brain. That's a neurotransmitter that boosts pleasure. But over time, overstimulation can actually lower natural dopamine levels, contributing to anxiety or depression.
One time after I was done gaming and taking a break, all these sad feelings came back. I was actually coming to find a way and, try to end my life. I was thinking maybe if I cut maybe an artery, maybe if I hanged myself. Those were the things that were playing on my mind. My PC was still on, so I was like, you know what, let me just play for a bit. I played until around midnight, and it just dawned on me. Gaming basically saved my life. And I think that also justified my time put into gaming. I didn't even see it as an addiction. I became good, I became better, I became better than most people. Everything changed when I met the beast. I think that was now the beginning of the turning point when I'd start to limit my gaming hours and start to also work on myself as well as a person.
Every time I would call him, he was always in a game, and he was missing out on a lot of things in life.
I found my new passion in teaching.
I am happy to see the steps that Adam has made in life. I mean, he's one of the most unbeatable fighting game players, not just in the country, but in the region. And that is because he took an initiative to consume gaming in a more productive and safe way.
There was a skill gap between our local community and the players I play with online, and I tried to bridge that gap. It's also about creating that unity, creating communities, be there for you when you need us, and to lend you that ear.
Noodles once were my daily crave until they led me into a hell's cave. Now I strive for meals that heal. Noodles, the aroma, the flavor, it just feels like, oh my God, these noodles are good. But then, you're in showbiz, you can't be a ball. You have to be an 8 soon.
Junk food is ultra-processed food that has low nutritional value. It is often high in salt, fat, and sugar in very unhealthy quantities.
My name is Nakiat, and I'm 13 years old. I love noodles.
Ultra-processed foods are heavily engineered products, designed with improved shelf life, texture, flavor, and appearance in mind. This makes them super tasty, so they're able to trigger strong cravings.
When I started poetry when I was 2.5, when my school needed a toddler to say their anniversary poem, I proceeded from there to winning Talented Kids in 2019. I was actually the first poet to reach the grand finale. There was this organization called the CVF, Climate Vulnerable Forum. I became their thematic youth ambassador. There are some times where I feel tired, bored, and then I like spicy food. That's where noodles come in.
Ultra-processed foods are designed to hit what's been called the bliss point. They combine fat, carbs, and salt in ways that stimulate the brain powerfully. This encourages overeating.
Well, I'm not a fan of sweets, but then if I get to the point where I have to eat it, I eat it non-stop.
They come there and they go to the mining communities to discharge petroleum products to the mine. He loses one mate. Because according to the mates, Oyam and Yana is more profitable than being a driver's mate. And so the most experienced drivers, they are losing it from the downstream to other areas. So one of the things we are trying to do to resolve that problem is that we are coming up with tanker drivers remuneration framework, whereupon we would ensure standardized payment by way of salary to the tanker drivers.
The NPA boss further announced that a levy of $80 per metric ton of LPG has been introduced to cover costs associated with a cylinder recirculation model.
We also now have what is known as the cylinder investment margin. We had to come to Parliament once again for Parliament to place about $80 per every metric ton of LPG into that particular fund. The whole essence is to absorb the costs relative to the cylinder recirculation model.
Godwin Eduji Tamaklo disclosed that video footage of individuals siphoning fuel from accident tankers will be handed over to the police to aid in their identification, arrest and prosecution.
Whenever there are tanker accidents, our people will move from their homes with gallons. The Kufor gallon. They are going to punch a hole into the tanker and begin to siphon the product. That is barefaced stealing. We have also decided that all the accidents, we are picking the video recordings and giving it to the Ghana police to identify the known faces for arrest and prosecution.
Leadership of the Church of Pentecost says the destruction of water bodies through illegal mining activities, also known as galamsey, has forced the church to abandon baptism of new converts. Or chairman of the church, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, says the situation is worrying, and Central Regional Correspondent Akwesi Ado has the details.
The Church of Pentecost 48th General Council meeting brought forth key leaders of the church globally. It was a moment of reflection on the church's activities and a forecast into the future. Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, who graced the occasion, signaled the significant progress made so far as the passage of Ghana's anti-LGBTQ+ bill is concerned. He wants the church to follow the process with keen interest, pledging that government won't interfere in religious and chieftaincy matters.
As I stand here today, the proper sexual human rights bill, Parliament is checking into a hotel today. They are doing this consideration tomorrow. When it moves from there to the speaker, our eyes must be on it. When it is on the plenary, our eyes must be on it. And therefore, the church, we must put our eyes on every sector, every hole, everywhere, to transform everywhere.
However, leadership of the church says its key religious practices, such as baptism, is being affected by illegal mining. According to Apostle Eric Nyamiche, chairman of the Church of Pentecost, synthetic rubber pools are now relied on to baptize new converts due to heavy pollution of rivers by galamsey activities. Additionally, climate change leading to unpredictable rainfall patterns is also affecting agriculture and adversely impacting the finances of church members. The leader says a collective effort is needed to tackle these environmental challenges.
The extensive pollution of water bodies due to illegal mining has hampered traditional water baptism in some mining communities, necessitating a shift to synthetic rubber pools in several districts to carry out the ordinance. The deterioration of cocoa farms have established the livelihood of members who depend on agriculture and farming. These unpredicted environmental conditions, along with the seasonal migration of fisher folks, continue to impact the steady financial growth and stability of affected local assemblies.
Since overcoming protracted disputes, which grievously impacted the church's finances, the church has attained a major success in winning souls, as well as contributing greatly to national development, making it a national pride.
The social interventions is all because we are trying to save human beings.
You cannot say that you have saved them, but you are not interested in their habitation. And so we try to save them. We want them to be candidates of heaven. But until they get there, they will eat. That's why we are trying to meet their social needs.
For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ado, Central Region.
The Public Accounts Committee has uncovered a string of troubling irregularities tied to project implementation and expenditure within Etrima Nuabieja Municipal Assembly of the Ashanti region in its review of the 2024 Auditor General's report currently ongoing in Kumasi. Ashanti regional correspondent Bright Iwa reports.
Troubling were reports that the Nwabieja Municipal Assembly withdrew unspent public funds on road projects beyond its jurisdiction, but failed to adequately account for those expenditures.
You made a remark here, and I think it's damning. Why do you think a whole district assembly, are you municipal or a whole municipal assembly, will issue a check to an institution and the institution will tell you, I will not receive the check? What are you not doing right?
Please, Honorable Chair, there were cash flow issues. Like the monies were not forthcoming as expected and planned. So at times we owe the suppliers and we find it a bit difficult, but now things has eased a bit. So
you see, all these cash withdrawals, you did them in November and December. This December 31st, you withdrew close to 150,000. You paid cash, close to 150,000. December 31st, 2024, about 200,000. This is fishy. Something doesn't smell good.
Additionally, the committee's review brought to light an outstanding compensation of over 1 million Ghana cedis owed to Prempeh College for the use of parts of its land in the construction of the Sofoline interchange. The amount, which dates back to 2013, is yet to be settled by government.
The auditors reported that when the government of Ghana was constructing the Sofoline interchange, a portion of our school land was taken and were promised an amount of 1,053,230 in compensation about 13 years ago. The government hasn't yet paid that amount. And since you're an old boy and headmaster now, what have you done to recover this money?
Taking over from the old headmaster, we wrote to the consultants requesting for such payments, because I saw that the correspondence had been through the consultant, which is Value Properties, principal consultant, Value Properties. So we wrote through them to Urban Roads, and assurances were given. In fact, when we write to them, they don't write back, they only give us assurance.
The Public Accounts Committee continues to unravel discrepancies in public institutions, raising serious questions about the state of public sector in the country. For Channel 1 News, I am Bright Yeboah.
The opposition New Patriotic Party, NPP, says it will resist any intimidation by members of the NDC administration. Well, the party made it clear on Wednesday upon a demonstration dubbed Yensre Hunehuna to register their displeasure with the recent arrest and detention of Yakubu Abubakar, the Sunyani East Communications Officer for Sunyani East Constituency. Michael Saponinfum reports.
Members of the opposition New Patriotic Party in the Sunyani East Constituency in the Bono region marched through some principal streets of Sunyani to register their displeasure with the arrest and detention of the communication officer for the constituency, Abubakar Yakubu, popularly known as Baba Amando. Top party members who joined the demonstration include the Member of Parliament for the Weja Gbawe constituency in the Greater Accra region, Jerry Ahmed, and former Member of Parliament for Doma West, Ali Mega. The demonstration was peaceful with protection from the personnel of the Ghana Police Service. Jerry Ahmed Shaib, who presented a petition on behalf of the party to Preska Adanye, Assistant Director, at the Bruno Regional Coordinating Council, spoke to the media.
There is no freedom of expression, no freedom of speech. Even association is a problem. And we think that this is the time to call on the president to understand that there is a constitution governing this land. And so they need to stop the unwarranted arrest of our people. I just gave a list of about 7 that comes to mind. Fanti Comedy was arrested, Abonye DC was arrested, Kofin Cancer was arrested, Baba Mando has been arrested before, Obama Pokwasi was arrested, on and on and on. Adenta Kumi was arrested. Why?
Some of the demonstrators also spoke to Channel 1 News.
We cannot be in a country where the president feels and chooses when to attack, when to get at people just because they are from the opposition party. And clearly this message is unambiguous. President Mahama cannot be a beneficiary of free speech and turn around to be the very enemy of it. And so the people of Ghana and Chinyani has paved the way. This is one of a series of activities we'll be doing in the coming days.
Almost virtually everything you can see that the government is just desperate to do certain things and stuff. So some of us have to come out and tell the government straight in the eyes that enough is enough. Baba Amando happens to be a very good friend. He's a very good friend and he's a communicator of this party. They came for the clergy, I didn't complain. They came for the doctors, I didn't complain. Now they are coming for communicators. So I have to complain. Where the country has gotten to, we can't allow people to gag freedom of speech. During his increment time, he gagged freedom of speech to get a one-party state, and the result was abysmal. John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, is a fantastic gentleman. We are pleading with him that this is not what we bargained for. This president was in office in 2012. He went back to opposition in 2016 and learned his lesson as an opposition person. But he came back, we thought he was going to change. This is actually the worst performance. The New Patriotic Party has indicated that it will continue to put the government on its toes to fulfill the promises it made to Daniel. For Channel 1 News, Michael Saponi.
Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has called for a full-scale investigation into reported xenophobic incidents targeting Ghanaians in South Africa. All the intervention comes after a viral video surfaced on social media showing a South African woman leading a youth group to confront a Ghanaian resident, accusing him of overstaying and calling for foreigners to return to their home countries rather than seeking opportunities abroad. We'll stay on this story and go to Zoom and speak to Dr. Yurinchi Jeche Dakon, who is the chairman of the Ghanaian community in Mtata. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us, Doc. We've seen the videos, disturbing indeed, but what are the facts of the issue that happened just as you've gathered?
Not long ago, there was a video circulating around the country, but my jurisdiction is the Amtata area. I'm the chairperson of the Ghanaian community in Amtata. That is a town in the Eastern Cape province of the country. But recently, there is another problem that we are going to encountering. Tomorrow, as I'm talking, there is going to be a peaceful march in Amtata.
All right, Doc, before you continue, for the sake of our viewers, if you can be stable for us so we have this conversation. Thank you. If you can continue.
Okay. So, but I got information this afternoon that there is going to be a peaceful march in Amtata. So I contacted one of the station commanders in Amtata, one of the police station commander, and he confirmed that there is going to be a peaceful demonstration. But the police are on top of the situation because it may tend to be violent. So he assured me that no, even though there will be a peaceful demonstration in the town Amtata tomorrow morning, starting at 9. But the police are putting a system in place so that the situation does not turn violent. Yeah, so that was the assurance that I received this afternoon.
Right. With the information that you are still gathering on what happened, can you tell us if any Ghanaian has been attacked in the process?
To the best of my knowledge, there was a video circulating around the social media, but that is not in my area here. But in fact, I cannot give much details. But I cannot give much detail about what happened to that lady. I just saw it on the social media. But in fact, the details, I don't have the details. I only have what is going to happen tomorrow here in Amtata.
Right. I'm sure that you've been in touch with the Ghana High Commission there. What have they been saying? What have you been discussing with regards to what has happened and regards to tomorrow's protest, you say?
Yeah, in fact, when we got the information, we got in touch with the High Commissioner, Mr. Kwashi, and then we also contacted the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Mr. Oscar Mabuyani. So they have also put in system in place so that the system does not turn violent tomorrow. They are all trying their best to make sure that the system does not become very explosive.
I'm sure that, a lot of Ghanaians will be concerned, especially for those who have families back there in South Africa, specifically the community in Tata. What's your word to them or assurances to them as the protest comes off tomorrow and with regards to all that is happening?
It is my prayer that since we have been able to contact the various stakeholders, we are praying that the system does not turn explosive because the station commanders are aware, and then the Premier of the Eastern Cape has also been alerted. Then the mayor of Amtata too is also in the known. So we are praying that system have been put in place. So I don't think the situation will be so violent and explosive as expected.
Right. Thank you very much, Doc, speaking to us from South Africa. He happens to be the chairman of the community of Nimthatha in that particular country, where we understand that alleged xenophobic attacks happened there some days ago. What he is telling us is that tomorrow there's going to be a protest. We'll keep an eye on that and bring you details on what happens with regards to that protest. But this is still the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. Still to come. Importers and exporters to save over 800 million cedis following capping of container administration charge. We have the details for you shortly. Do stay with us.
As the sun rises over the city of Accra, its warm glow settles on one of the city's most thoughtfully planned communities, Lakeside Estate. And once again, something exceptional is unfolding. After the successful sale of our 4-bedroom Orca at Lakeside Hills, a new masterpiece is about to make its debut. An exquisite 4-bedroom story Orca home overlooking a breathtaking landscape of the Abri Mountains. This remarkable home now features a total floor area of 330 square meters, set on a generous 7,140 square foot plot. Step inside and you're welcomed by a spacious foyer leading to an open living and dining area, paired with a modern fitted kitchen with a stylish island crafted for the ultimate cooking experience. On the first floor, family living takes center stage. Spend quality time together and enjoy the convenience of a newly added infinite kitchenette, perfect for warming up your coffee or tea. For our esteemed homeowners who value privacy and productivity, a dedicated study area has been beautifully integrated into the design. This new home is a testament to trust, craftsmanship, and modern living. A space where elegance, comfort, and style come together effortlessly. Book your spot today by calling our sales expert on 020-477-5040. or 020-477-5042. Lakeside Estate, quality homes for all.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit up! Hey, mommy, my wife is cooking something delicious.
Lizzie Shito, hot pepper sauce, spicy. Bola yete, Lizzie oh Lizzie. Lizzie Shito,
Lizzie Shito, the Shito is Shito. Lizzie Shito, overfill.
Lizzie Shito, please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzie Shito, dear. Ebesu obiasu.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy and
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy.
For bulk purchase, kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Many thanks for staying with us. This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Well, up next is Channel 1 Business with Neti Ajahu.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Net, can you bring us the details?
Let's get straight to our stories. And importers and exporters in Ghana are expected to save more than 800 million Ghana cedis annually following a new directive by the Ghana Shippers Authority to cap the container administrative charge at 550 Ghana cedis per 20-foot equivalent unit. The policy, which takes effect from May 1, 2026, is aimed at reducing the cost of doing business at the country's ports and bring transparency to charges imposed by the shipping lines. There's more in the following Business Desk report.
According to the Ghana Union of Traders Association, shippers paid about 1.69 billion cedis in container administrative charges in 2024 alone. With a new cap in place, businesses are projected to save approximately 802.5 million cedis each year, easing the financial burden on traders and manufacturers. The Traders Association, in a statement, welcomed the move, describing it as a critical step toward addressing long-standing concerns over high and often unjustified port-related charges imposed by shipping lines and their agents. The container administrative charge was introduced in the late 1980s when vessels calling at Ghana's ports relied on ship-mounted gear due to limited port infrastructure. However, industry players argue that the conditions that justify the charge no longer exist, yet the fees have continued to rise over the years. The association said the decision by the Ghana Shippers Authority followed extensive consultations with shipping lines, freight forwarders and other stakeholders and was undertaken under the provisions of the Ghana Shippers Authority Act 2024.
Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama has assured Ghanaian content creators on X that the central bank is ready to support them in resolving any challenges related to the receipt of their digital platform payouts. He emphasized that their work is valued as a key service export. Here is more.
The governor gave the assurance during an engagement with content creators at Bank Square following the Bank of Ghana's 20th April statement addressing concerns over access to earnings from global digital platforms. Dr. Johnson Esiama stressed that the central bank places high value on the work of content creators, likening their contribution to traditional export sectors such as cocoa. He noted that the bank is open and accessible to help resolve any payout-related challenges they may encounter. He encouraged the creators to form a structured association to facilitate coordinated engagement with regulators and ensure that issues are addressed more efficiently and at an early stage. According to him, the bank is committed to supporting their work and will take steps to ensure a smoother operating environment. The engagement also reaffirmed that under existing foreign exchange regulations, proceeds from service exports can be received through foreign exchange accounts held with banks in Ghana or credited Ghana cedi accounts, provided transactions comply with regulatory requirements.
Now, the managing director of Zen Petroleum Holdings PLC, William Tavy, has described the company's listing of the Ghana Stock Exchange as a strategic move to broaden ownership and position the business for sustainable long-term growth. According to him, the move comes with a strengthened commitment to transparency, corporate governance, and sustainable growth. There's more in this report.
The listing introduces a new energy sector equity at a time when investor interest on the exchange remains concentrated within a narrow group of financial and telecom stocks. It comes as Zen Petroleum Holdings PLC on Wednesday commenced trading on the GSE following the listing of 640 million ordinary shares after the successful completion of its capital raising exercise. Speaking at the official listing ceremony, Managing Director of the company, William Tavia, outlined key priorities that will shape the company's next phase of growth.
By listing on the Ghana Stock Exchange, we're opening our doors to the investing public and making a clear statement. Zen is not just a company built by a few. It's a company that is owned by many, and one that contributes meaningfully to Ghana's economic future. We are also deepening our commitment to transparency, good governance, and sustainable growth, principles that will guide us as we scale further. As we look ahead, our priorities are clear: to strengthen our position across the downstream petroleum value chain.
Renowned Ghanaian business leader Sam Jonah underscored the need to deepen economic empowerment by moving beyond participation to meaningful ownership of strategic national assets.
Economic development is not just about GDP figures. It's about who owns what, and it is about who benefits. It is also about whether the ordinary Ghanaian, the teacher, the farmer, the nurse, the market trader, has a stake in the companies that are shaping this country's future. When Zen opens its shares to the public, it is not merely conducting a financial transaction. Indeed, it is extending an invitation. It is saying to every Ghanaian, this company is yours to own a piece of. That is empowerment in the most practical and meaningful sense of the word. And I must say, the developments of recent months have been most encouraging. The acquisition of Azuma Resources by EMP, Engineers and Planners, is a milestone. I've watched with deep satisfaction.
Let's now bring an update on crude oil prices and how the local currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for business. I am Netele Netiajahu. Back to you, Akusia.
Thank you, Netele, for that update from the world of business. Now let's do some of the stories. And the Minister for Health, Kwabena Mintah-Akando, has raised concerns about the government's capacity to complete the previous administration's Agenda 111 projects. Kwabena Mintah-Akando says the project, which is at various stages of completion, will require a public-private partnership to complete the project. There's more in this report.
Speaking on the City FM breakfast show, the minister disclosed that government is committed to completing 35 of the existing projects during the second term of President John Mahama, adding that the remainder will be completed by the private sector. He explained that work is ongoing this year to complete 10 district hospitals as part of the project.
People are saying that government is going to look for 20 billion Ghana cedis to finish Agenda 111. It will take us more than 10 years to be able to do that.
So for this government, you will finish the 35?
That is 35. It's not as if we are finishing only the 35.
No, I'm saying you finish 35 with your own budget.
Yes, that's what we are looking at.
Then another group, you partner people to finish.
Exactly.
And the third, the private sector will come in.
Yes, so you can even say that we will finish the first 35. That's what we are concentrating on now. Then the rest, we are inviting the private sector to also, because they're more or less the check somehow. So that's the strategy. Because if you don't strategize,
have any of the tax,
a lot of them have
shown interest in the whole.
A lot of them. But there's a decision to be taken by cabinet. That's why I'm dragging my feet. We need to take some decisions we have not taken.
But for the 35, by the time the NDC's tenure is over, you can be sure that it will be finished and equipped and operational.
I'm very, very sure.
The Minister for Health, Kwabena Mintah-Akando, also disclosed that government plans to clear all salary arrears owed to 13,500 health workers by the end of July 2026. On the free primary healthcare policy, Kwabena Mintah-Akando explained that government has made a major financial commitment to strengthening Ghana's healthcare system, revealing that over 500 million Ghana cedis worth of medical equipment has been procured.
What can you take out there to the houses or the schools to go and do these vitals? So we needed to retool the glucometers, the PP apparatus, the monitors, and what have you. So as I speak to you now, we bought not less than, and I took some of your guys there, they saw it for themselves. I mean, a very big warehouse full of equipment. We bought not less than 500 million worth of equipment, about 24,000 pieces of equipment. And that is
to be distributed to which level of
So we are distributed to the primary healthcare levels.
Chips compounds, health centers, polyclinics across the country.
And to a small extent, the district hospitals.
Good.
Because sometimes the referrals from the pre-primary healthcare will be directed to the district hospitals.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Isaac Andrews Tando, has issued a strong warning to mining license holders, indicating that stricter sanctions will be enforced for any health and safety breaches on their concessions, even when such violations are caused by subcontractors. A Western Bureau Chief Akwesi Ajayinim reports.
The second edition of the two-day African Mining Health and Safety Series 2006 is a high-level industry conference aimed at promoting occupational health, safety and sustainability within the mining sector. The event, which also featured exhibitions by industry support service providers, was organized by Global Strategic Network in collaboration with the Minerals Commission. It brought together key stakeholders, including regulators, mining companies, health and safety professionals, and international experts from across Africa and beyond.
A mine that cuts corners on safety is a mine that is building a mountain of liability. And no investor wants that. If your partner operates unsafely, you are responsible. If your contractor ignores environmental protocols, your permit is at risk. We have seen too many cases where a principal company claims ignorance whilst a subcontractor cuts corners. The excuse no longer holds. The Minerals Commission holds the license holder accountable for every actor on their concession. This is our position.
Mr. Tando further outlined the Commission's effort to ensure that small-scale miners adhere to proper health and safety standards.
We are organizing training for them. We are collaborating with UMAT to make sure that whatever good things that are happening in the large-scale mining are transferred into the artisanal and small-scale mining. In fact, we are even being intentional such that we build these cooperatives around large-scale miners.
Speaking on the team, the mine, community and mine worker sustainability, empowered workers, sustainable mines, and thriving communities, Associate Professor of Occupational Health and Safety at the University of Mines and Technology, Professor Eric Stem, urged mining companies to strike a balance between production targets and safety, cautioning against prioritizing output at the expense of worker well-being.
If you have a miner that is unsafe, then the mine in itself is not safe. The mine cannot be economic. And that is why health and safety is very important in this whole conversation of sustainability.
Participants and organizers of the conference shared their insight with Channel One TV, highlighting key lessons from the discussions.
Taking this opportunity to also gain some knowledge and experiences from the Ghanaian mining community, and also just share with the people back home. And I also help to impart some of the Zimbabwean solutions to the challenges that were discussed in the sessions with the Ghanaian team.
We got interest in the mining health and safety because we know mining is very crucial in Africa, and health and safety is an integral part of it.
The overall call from the Africa Mining Health and Safety Series here in Takoradi is for mining companies to prioritize safety over production, just to ensure that they continuously stay in business as a sustainable industry. For Channel One TV News, I'm Akwesi Jenny, Takoradi.
And back to the capital, the Greater Accra Regional Security Council will embark on an exercise to demolish all illegal structures encroaching on the Sakumo Ramsar site. Well, this was announced by the Regional Minister Linda Oklu, who disclosed that intelligence gathered revealed fresh encroachment within the core zone of the wetland. Rachel Engman reports.
The Sakumo Ramsar site, a protected coastal wetland between Accra and Tema, has come under growing threat from illegal construction and waste dumping. Successive governments, in a bid to protect the wetland, have implemented several measures, including demolition exercises. Addressing the first 2026 meeting of the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, the regional minister indicated that intelligence gathered by the Regional Security Council revealed renewed encroachment within the core zone of the wetland.
Following this development, RECSEC will support the Forestry Commission and the Tema West Municipal Assembly to undertake a demolition exercise to remove unauthorized structures within the core zone of Ramsar site and other Ramsar sites, hopefully next week. I wish to sound a clear warning to all developers and prospective land users to strictly refrain from any form of activities within the Sakumo Ramsar site and other Ramsar sites.
The minister, who expressed concern over persistent complaints about dark streets across parts of the region, directed MMDCs to conduct urgent assessments of street lighting in their jurisdictions, warning that assemblies responsible for poorly lit areas may be publicly identified if the situation persists.
I have made several efforts to secure and distribute street lights to MMDCs to improve their situation. However, I continue to receive countless calls from the media reports and social media highlighting several dark and poorly lit areas within the region. This situation is deeply concerning, especially given the resources already provided. In view of this, I urge all MMDCs to go back and undertake a thorough assessment of street lighting in your respective jurisdictions in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy and Roads and Highways.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister has ordered the demolition of illegal structures at the Sakumo Ramsar site. She also directed the urgent fixing of dark streets across the region. Reporting for Channel One News, I am Rachel Engman.
And back in the studio, I am Akosia Oche. This is still the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. Still to come. New Black Stars coach Carlos Quiroz arrives in Ghana ahead of unveiling on Thursday. We have the details for you and more. Please stay with us.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Monsieur Femi Kalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Monsieur Femi once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah.
Captain Mosquito, double the action. Maybe this sasso spray. Monsieur Femi sasso quell. Yeah, cool to my sasso.
Sasso, come tum preko.
Welcome back to the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One TV. Up next is Channel One Sports with Bernard Abekwatri. Mr. Ochiri, I like your fugu.
Thank you.
You're doing well. It means you're a respectful child.
Yeah.
What the president says, that's what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Great. But I'm curious to know, I mean, we have a new...
You are curious to know Chris is in town, right?
It took me a while to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Carlos Queiroz.
That's it.
Okay, so he's arrived. I mean, I know there's going to be a whole drama at the airports and a lot of, warmth, reception, but what are we to expect tomorrow?
Oh, to tell us what he's going to do with our Black Stars, give us an identity, tell us his tactics and approach he's going to use to get us highly competitive. His schedule is to, stay with us to the end of the World Cup, but get us very competitive in that space.
All right, please bring us the details.
Oh, let's head into it. First off, Black Stars head coach Carlos Queiroz has arrived in Ghana ahead of his unveiling on Thursday, April 23, 2026 at the Alisa Hotel here in Accra. The event scheduled for 1 p.m. will bring together members of the media to interact with the Portuguese trainer following his appointment as Black Stars head coach last week. Queiroz will use the platform to share his vision for the team, outline his technical philosophy, and answer questions from the press ahead of the Summers 2026 FIFA World Cup in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. The unveiling also provides an opportunity to formally introduce the coach to the Ghanaian public, set expectations for the World Cup campaign, and foster alignment between the technical team and the media, and of course the supporters as well. Let's move away from there. And in athletics, Ghana Athletics, through its president, Bar Husseini, has declared the country's readiness to host some of Africa's top athletes at the 24th edition of the African Athletics Championship, Accra 2026. The championship are scheduled to take place from May 12 to 17, 2026 at the University of Ghana, with Ghana set to welcome elite competitors from across the continent. Bar Husseini made this known ahead of the event following the signing of a memorandum of understanding with Piva Beverages as the official mineral water provider for athletes competing in the championship. My colleague Gabi Ofe has more in this report.
The nation's athletes are set to compete against the very best from across the continent in a 6-day showcase of elite track and field. The championship, scheduled from May 12 to May 17, 2026, will bring together Africa's top-performing athletes for one of the continent's premier athletics event. Among the standout names expected is Botswana's sprint sensation, Lesile Tebogo, alongside other leading competitors, comprising a highly competitive and thrilling experience.
Maybe you've never seen somebody who has run sub-10.
Yeah.
In Ghana, have opportunity to see people running sub-10. Maybe you've never seen somebody who ran 44 in Ghana, and you're going to see people running 44. You wonder, so how is the 44 race look like? And you hear in Tobago or hear in Sambini or Chibet, see them run on the TV. Now you're going to see them feel running that.
President of the Ghana Athletics, Bar Husseini, emphasized that the championship will serve as a major platform for elite African athletes to compete for continental glory.
Before you do any big event like that, you have to register it 3 months before the competition.
Yeah.
So the African Championship and some of our local competition are already in the system. So, and the results is going to be live. The results are going to be instant results, both online and World Athletic platform, all those platforms. So you can replay it. So as soon as each day,
he added that preparations are well underway, with effort focused on meeting international standards, including the use of enhanced electronic timing systems. Ahead of the competition, which begins on May 12, Ghana Athletics signed a memorandum of understanding with Piva Beverages. The agreement positions both organizations to play key roles in delivering a world-class event in Accra.
As one of the directors of the business, I like athletics a lot. As I said, I was a former student of St. Augustine's College, and those who went to August School, so we went to secondary schools in Cape Coast. Athletics is a big deal for us. And I knew Bawa from University of Ghana during he's my mate, I must admit. So they came and reached us out that they need support. Government is doing their best, but it's not enough. So I believe that Piva being an emerging brand, if you associate ourselves with athletics, which Ghanaians like a lot, we can also propel the product to levels that ordinarily on our own we may not be able to reach.
Let's now talk about Chelsea, who sacked their manager in 107 days. A former Chelsea forward, Jimmy Floyd Hessenberg, says he expected Liam Rosenior to be given more time before the club decided to sack him. Rosenior was dismissed just months after signing a 6-year deal following his move from RC Strasbourg, a side owned